On September 30th, 1997, in Hasselt, Belgium, a boy named Max Verstappen was born into a family where racing wasn't just a passion, it was a way of life. His father, Jos Verstappen, was a former Formula One driver, while his mother, Sophie Kumpen, was a skilled karting racer. Speed ran in his blood, but no one could predict that this little boy would one day become one of the fiercest and youngest champions the sport had ever seen. From the moment Max could walk, he was surrounded by engines, tires, and the smell of fuel. At just 4 years old, he was already karting under his father's strict guidance. Jos was tough, sometimes too tough, but his discipline shaped Max into a driver who feared nothing and no one. He didn't just race to win, he raced as if every lap was life or death. By the time he was a teenager, Max's raw speed and fearless overtakes were catching global attention. At 15, he became the youngest driver to win a world karting championship. While his friends were in school, Max was on circuits around the world, fighting grown men with twice his experience. He wasn't just keeping up, he was beating them. In 2014, at the age of 16, Max made headlines when he signed with Red Bull's junior program. 1 year later, in 2015, he joined Toro Rosso in Formula One. At only 17 years old, he became the youngest driver ever to start an F1 race. Many critics said he was too young, too inexperienced, maybe even reckless. But Max silenced them with dazzling drives, pulling off overtakes that left commentators speechless. His fearless style made him a fan favorite. In his debut season, his daring moves against seasoned drivers like Felipe Massa and Kimi Räikkönen showed that he wasn't intimidated by anyone. By 2016, Red Bull promoted him to their main team, and in his very first race for them, at the Spanish Grand Prix, Max stunned the world. After Mercedes teammates Hamilton and Rosberg collided, the teenager held his nerve and crossed the finish line first, becoming the youngest race winner in F1 history at just 18 years old. The world now knew. Max Verstappen wasn't just a rookie. He was a future world champion in the making. But greatness doesn't come without challenges. Critics pointed to his aggression, his sometimes fiery temper, and questioned if he could mature into a complete driver. Max didn't care. He wasn't here to please everyone. He was here to win. Over the next few seasons, Max continued to evolve. With every race, his talent sharpened, his racecraft matured, and his determination grew stronger. Red Bull provided him with competitive cars, but Mercedes' dominance in the turbo-hybrid era kept Verstappen just out of reach of the championship. Still, he never backed down. Whether he was battling Hamilton wheel-to-wheel in the rain or overtaking on tracks where passing seemed impossible, Max earned a reputation as F1's gladiator, fearless, relentless, unstoppable. By 2021, the stage was set for one of the most dramatic seasons in Formula One history. Max, wearing the number 33 on his car, finally had a machine capable of challenging Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. What followed was a season filled with intense battles, controversial clashes, and nail-biting finishes. From Silverstone to Monza, Saudi Arabia to Abu Dhabi, the rivalry between Hamilton and Verstappen electrified the sport. The championship came down to the very last lap of the very last race in Abu Dhabi. With Hamilton leading comfortably, a late safety car brought Verstappen right behind him. On the final lap, Max made the move of his life, diving past Hamilton to claim his first ever world championship. At just 24 years old, he had dethroned a 7-time world champion in a way that would forever be remembered in racing history. That victory transformed Max from a prodigy into a legend, but he wasn't done. In 2022, Verstappen dominated the grid like never before. Winning 15 races in a single season, he broke records and silenced critics who said his first title was luck. He switched to the number 1 on his car, a symbol of his status as reigning champion. In 2023, he was unstoppable again, sealing his 3rd world championship with ease. What sets Max apart isn't just his speed, but his mentality. He drives with a fiery hunger, yet his focus remains cold and calculated. Off the track, he's reserved, sometimes even blunt, but inside the cockpit, he's pure fire. He isn't chasing fame or politics. He's chasing victory, lap after lap, season after season. Today, Max Verstappen stands as the face of a new generation of Formula One. With his aggressive style, unmatched consistency, and the ability to deliver under pressure, he has already etched his name among the greats: Schumacher, Senna, Hamilton. But for Max, the story is still being written. From the boy in Hasselt racing go-karts at 4 years old to the three-time world champion breaking records in Formula One, Verstappen's journey is proof that when talent meets relentless determination, history is made. And for Max, this is just the beginning.